Okay, as you can see, in the last couple of days in Telcoin, we got this decent move on the upside and something actually happening here that makes me say we are probably more bullish than I initially thought, and I'm going to show the signs to you and tell you what might be next for Telcoin in the next coming weeks. So with that said, hi everyone, welcome back. I hope you are having a great time with your family and loved ones. And before checking out the chart and see what is going on in here, I need to tell you that in the next coming days, I'm going to put an hour to maybe even, who knows, an hour and a half long video out for my members, and in it I'm going to talk about the altcoins that I'm holding and their bull run targets and what might be next for Bitcoin and also altcoin market. So if you're interested in those informations, you can become a member and ask me anything you want. If you don't want to, that's absolutely fine. Feel free to watch the public videos. Now, if you remember the last time that we talked about TL, we were somewhere around these areas, and I was saying, look, in terms of classic TA, meaning support and resistances, we are having a very strong resistance area, which is from weekly and daily time frame at the same time, and it is going to be between, let's say, 0.0048 to about 0.0058. Now, I said, because this is a very strong resistance, makes sense for us to hang around this area a bit more and thereafter get a move on the upside. However, as you can see, we just got a solid break of this region, and if you remember, I was saying if you want to say that a resistance is broken, you need to see an initial move above that area and then pull back, and followed by that a continuation of the move up in order to take this high. So this is a very classic and textbook breaking structure, and it happened a lot sooner than I initially thought. Now, let's just zoom out a bit more and see what is happening in here and what was my previous scenario. You see, in the previous video, I told you maybe we are going to have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave up starting from this point and ending to somewhere around here. And in the interest of not getting your hopes up that much, I said maybe for now it's best to stick with this scenario. However, now I'm gonna say probably this isn't actually in play. And before talking about what's happening in here, let's go around here. You see, in case that you are a new viewer, because I know about 80% of you in each video are new viewers, you should know that in my analysis, I use a lot of Elliott waves. And if you want to argue in terms of Elliott waves, we're gonna have, for example, our final bottom around here. Maybe this is like a very important support. Then okay, you need to be able to find off of the lowest low in this region a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave up. This specific example is a normal 5 wave. The rules for it are we shouldn't have overlapping of the waves between wave 2 and 4, and in any kind of impulsive movement, wave 3 right in here should not be the smallest wave. And in terms of the sub waves, you know it, we need to have 5 wave up into wave 1, 3, and 5. There we go. And for wave 2 and 4, we can have different possibilities. Doesn't really matter a whole lot. Let's say, sure, ABC into 4 and maybe, yep, a WXY structure into wave 2. And I think in Telcoin, off of the lowest low, we are on our way up to complete something like this. Understood? Okay, now let's go on the live chart and count some waves. First, let's actually go on some lower time frames, maybe even 15-minute chart, and see what is happening in here. Here is the deal. I believe this is a correction structure, and it probably ended somewhere around here because this initial move on the upside off of the lowest low in this region is actually an ABC and not an impulse. And I think we may have, if I just take this one, probably a WXY in form of a double zigzag. What is going on in this area? I think this is also a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave up, and in this region we are definitely having a 5 wave on the upside in this initial move, which can be, for example, like this. This is 1 and then 2 to about here, big move up into wave 3, correction for 4, and another move up into wave 5. Between them, this is actually an ABC structure, and also in here, we are having, if I just say this one, probably another 1, 2, big move up into wave 3, correction for 4, another move up into wave 5. And this is an ABC, but I think it might be in form of a flatter structure instead of a zigzag. So Let's zoom out a bit more. Okay, what do we have off of this point? This is 5 up, this is another 5, this is another 5, another one, and another one. In other words, we are having about 6 sets of 5 waves on the upside. So how do we interpret this? Basically, we are going to say there's a good chance that we are on our way up to complete the subwaves for a huge wave 3. Now, there are many different ways to interpret this structure, and here is, believe it or not, the most pessimistic one. Because again, if you are a regular viewer, you know I don't really want to get your hopes up that much. And if we are going to have some more bullish possibilities in here, we are going to cross that bridge when we get to it. So based on the most pessimistic scenario, I'm willing to say that this is actually from here a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave on the upside, something like this. And let's change the colors so you don't get confused. There we go. Now, here is the deal. I believe that in here we are having 5 up into 1, correction for wave 2, and this yellow 5 wave up is actually into a wave 3. Followed by that, we are having probably a WXY into wave 4, and at the moment we are on our way to complete this wave 5 right in here. Let's change the colors to green. Sure, there we go. And on a higher degree, believe it or not, once more we are going to have something like this, a 1, 2, and then this green 5 up is going to be into a wave 3, and then correction for 4, another huge move on the upside into wave 5. And even after that, we are going to have, believe it or not, the same deal. First, let's just change the color of this one to, yeah, sure, let's say red. And also take this one. This is another 1, 2. And this huge 5 up is actually into a wave 3, and then correction for 4. And we're going to have another move up into wave 5. So, as you can see, in my opinion, in Telcoin, since we got a solid break of this region with absolute authority, and we really didn't hang out under this area, these signs to me at least suggest that in TEL, we are actually much more bullish than I initially thought. And here is a very important point. Overall, for so long, I was telling you, look, as long as, if I just zoom in a bit more, we're not going to take this low region here in TL, we can remain bullish. And the idea is that we're going to get a big move up in order to at least take the highest side in this region around, let's say, 6.1 cents. Now, before this move up in the last couple of days, I was thinking to myself that we are going to take this side, but it is going to take a bit of time. However, now I'm going to say taking the highest side in here around 6.5 cents in Telcoin is probably a lot closer than we initially thought, and we might actually continue this sharp move on the upside. So you see, it seems like that we are now in TL much more bullish than before. Now, do we have some other reasons to be absolutely bullish? The answer is yes. You see, this area, the reason for why it was so important was because above it, we don't really have a whole lot of strong resistance. That's why I want to argue now that we got a solid break of this region, our move up is going to indeed continue, probably in quite a sharp way, in order to reach to somewhere around the next important resistance area, which is going to be all the way up here. I believe it was around 1.7 to about 1.9 cents right in here. There we go. So between this region and also this one, I just cannot find a whole lot of strong resistances. That's why I want to say in Telcoin, next target is actually going to be around, I believe, 100 to 150% higher. And if we are going to also get a break of this one as easily as this thing, well, okay, at that point, the next target, you know it, is going to be about 250% higher in order to take the highest side in this region around exactly 6.5 cents. So let's have our final conclusion and wrap up today's video. First, in Telcoin, I highly believe that our bull run not only is not over yet, but also since in the last couple of days we got a solid break of this area, I'm going to say the bull run is going to continue at quite a bit of a rapid pace, and the next target I'm thinking is going to be around this region between 1.7 to about 1.9 cents, which from the current point, that's giving you about 100 to 150% move on the upside. Does this mean that at this point our bull run is going to be over? Probably not. My ultimate target in TL is to take the highest side in this region around 6.5 cents. And then after that, we are going to check out the structures and just take everything step by step. As long as we're not taking this high and we're not having a whole lot of bearish signs in here, I'm going to stick to my bullish scenario in Telcoin, which suggests, who knows, maybe even this is going to be just the beginning, and our move up, for now at least, seems like that is far from over. So I hope I explained everything well and you understood what is going on in TEL's price charts. Anyway, if you found any value in my content, I would really appreciate if you like this video and consider subscribing to my channel and follow me on Twitter. And if you want more, maybe you want a complete analysis for your own specific crypto, or maybe you want to learn some decent TA in order to be able to make good money in markets, you can become a member and ask me anything you want. And until the next video, I hope you have a wonderful time. Goodbye.